Who you got, Kay?
Sam Emilus, William Stanback, Trevor Harris, Brady O, Patrick Neufeld. Who do you got, Enoch?
A couple of Argos, Win McManus, Deveris Daniels, A.J. Ouellette, former Argo, Mike Rose of the Calgary Stampeders jersey.
This seems a little biased, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
It'd be cool. We could just pick one of these players, and they'd end up being our co-host for the evening.
Nah, we can't do that. No
we
way.
Can't do it,
The great Miltradamus can make it happen.
What?
Yes. So who do you have, Kate?
Here are my cards.
Oh, let me see here. Who do I have, Kate?
Stavros Katsatonis?
I can make it happen. Voila!
Ask and you shall receive. Let's do this. And the engine of this Elks offense, Justin Rankin, the running back, the all-purpose guy. He's going to be amazing tonight, but this guy is a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's got it tonight.
3 straight games of hitting his head on the goal post. That means scoring a touchdown for those who don't know. Justin Hardy is quietly having another solid year. Will the Elks be able to keep him out of the end zone, or will he keep the streak going?
Cody Fajardo boasting an 8-1 career record versus Ottawa and a whopping 10-1 TD to INT ratio as the Elks roll into the nation's capital.
And the Elks obviously finding a little consistency with Cody. On the flip side, with Drew Brown sidelined for the 3rd time this season, Ottawa once again turning to Dustin Crum. He was good last week in relief of Brown. He ended the game with 125 yards, a touchdown, and no surprise, 21 rushing yards. He loves to use his legs. It is Friday Night Football on TSN. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Milt Stiegel, and please formally welcome to the panel, it is Stavros Katsatonis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Kate. It's great to be here.
Oh, we are happy to have you, and thank you for dressing up, unlike these two who are clearly making it casual Fridays around. Well, it is Stavs Night. We're going to have an entire panel here ready to break down this game. Lots coming up. But right now we go to Kenzie Lalonde, who is standing by live in Ottawa. And Kenzie, the big story tonight for the Ottawa Redblacks. Once again, Drew Brown injured for the 3rd time this season. And Drew Brown, obviously they love having him in this lineup, and the offense knows him well. But they also know Dustin Crum and what he can do.
Yeah, so Drew Brown did not practice this week. I had a chance to speak with Bob Dice before the game here, just on updates about his possible return. Luckily, the Redblacks do have a bye week next week, so Bob Dice and the Redblacks saying that they're hopeful to have Drew Brown for that September 5th game against the BC Lions. But look, injuries continue to be a theme here for the Redblacks, especially in the secondary right now on defense. You see a lot of rejigging of their positions right now. But the good news, you look at some returning guys tonight. Elijah McGee will come in at field corner. But on offense, you got Braylon Addison go down on the one game with a rib injury, and so Andre Miller will come in at that position, so he'll be an option here for tonight for Dustin Crum. We had a chance to speak with him this week, and he talked about he knows he has to look to throw that ball, be more of a passer as this season goes on in this league, and so for him that'll be a focus tonight to try and have that pass first mentality, as Tommy Gondel likes to tell him, don't abort the passing mission. So we'll see what goes on between the Elks and Redblacks here tonight, but we're midway through this season. You know how valuable these wins can be. So we'll see what happens tonight in the nation's capital.
Kenzie, both these teams really needing this win tonight. And when it comes to the quarterbacking situation, no one knows better than obviously Stavros, because you're chasing down these quarterbacks. Well, at least you're looking for what they're going to be doing on the field. And when it comes right now to Dustin Crum, I mean, we know how well he can use his legs. And we just said Tommy Condell obviously would like to see him pass a little bit more. But what makes it so difficult when a guy like that is in the lineup?
Yeah, when a guy like Dustin Crum, who can run the ball, extend plays more than, your average 4 seconds of play when you got D linemen running after you, hopefully getting to the quarterback. But a guy like Dustin Crum who can get out of the pocket, make a play from 4 seconds into 8 seconds, it marks terror for any DBs, because covering a guy for that long on this big of a field in the CFL is a very difficult thing to do.
Oh, the Elks definitely were preaching all week, contain, because when he gets out of the pocket, like you mentioned, Stop, he is dangerous and he can make some things happen, but it's going to have to take the whole band to make some music tonight. Everybody's got to be all hands on deck, and this is going to be an interesting one, because now he has a whole week of practice, and we'll see what Tommy Condell has cooked up for him tonight.
The question is, can he win a game with just his legs? That's the question, because we know what type of player he is, his athleticism. But I think in this game, he's going to have to drop back and throw the ball. And sometimes that's difficult when you haven't done it on a consistent basis. As a receiver, a quarterback like him, he's the gift and the curse because we know every single play is always live because he can move around. But we also know that he's not that typical drop-back guy. So as a receiver, we understand sometimes that maybe he's not reading the defense and our route may not be there. So it's the gift and the curse. It'll be interesting to see if he can drop back and make some plays because I think that's the only way they can win this game.
Yeah, and as a defense coming into a game like this, you know, Staff, we're saying we keep him in the pocket, and if he's going to kill us throwing the football, then let it be so. But they're going to dare him to stay in the pocket, to your point, Milt, and we'll see how he fares tonight.
You know, on the flip side, too, when it comes to Cody Fajardo in these Edmonton Elks, I think a lot of us gave them a lot of grace at the beginning of the season. Obviously, Trey Ford was struggling, and now they have Cody in there full time. You know that there's more consistency in the offense and the defense as well. All the new guys that come in, now they have a little more continuity. But for Cody Fajardo, it just feels like, Stavros, right now, that they trust him and they're moving in the right direction now, looking for their third straight win.
Yeah, and he is a veteran quarterback, has a championship type of DNA, right? Has won a Grey Cup with the Montreal Alouettes. Was efficient in that offense as well. Got the ball out quick, was able to make his reads. If he can do that tonight, continue on that 77.5% completions percentage, who knows, maybe he chases down the single-season CFL record.
You talk about his DNA. He's got the it factor. He's a guy that changes the locker room. He changes the complexity of the whole offense. You see what he did as soon as he got onto the field, and he's been able to turn things around over there. And everybody around him has been playing better since he's gotten on there. You see Justin Rankin is playing a lot better. Keon Julian Grant. And everyone is improving, so his mindset, his attitude, absolutely to your point. Yes, he's doing well and he's putting stats on the stat sheet, but it's the intangible, the things that you don't see and who he makes better is absolutely impressive for him.
Do you think the powers that be in the Elks organization is saying, what if we would have started this guy?
No,
they have
to. You don't think so?
No way they signed Trey. I'm just saying, no, you give Trey that money. No, you had to see what you had in Trey. But now hindsight's pretty darn easy, Milt.
You don't think
it really is.
The organization is saying
Anyone could say that in any position,
you've been in a locker room before where there's been quarterback controversy, and so have I. Sometimes those things creep into the locker room, into the inner circles of, you know, your DBs or your receiving core of,
we should have started him
earlier.
Had this guy
to start. Maybe I'm a 1,000-yard receiver instead of a 500-yard receiver.
Hindsight's easy.
Hindsight is easy, but this is their guy, and you mentioned the offense is playing better, but the defense is playing better, too. He just brings a different energy. There's a different aura around that organization now. Now they feel they have a chance. Not saying Trey is not their future, but this team needs to win right now, and Cody, without a doubt, gives them the best chance.
You know what, too? It was watching the comments, too. Remember when Cody started getting a rhythm a lot of the time, too, and just watching those comments as they were walking off the field. Remember when Dunbar said it? And speaking of Dunbar, he did lead the way in receptions for the Elks in their last victory. Hoping for a little more tonight. He had 7 in that game. Ended the game with 64 yards, a touchdown. As mentioned, for more in their third straight win as they take on the Redblacks.
Since Cody's been put in as the starter, their passing yardage has gone up dramatically, and the deep ball has come back to this offense. 15 seconds left.
Dive into the end zone. Touchdown! Cody Fajardo returns to Montreal on his way to the Elks' second victory of the season.
Fajardo! Dunbar! Back on top go the Elks. Big uphill climb for Edmonton, but they've managed to take a couple of steps in the last few weeks.
Back for another episode of Head to Head with myself, Milt Stegall, and of course, Enoch Mwamba, a.k.a. Slim Fit. And today's subject matter is backup quarterback for the Ottawa Redblacks getting his third start of the season, Dustin Crum. And his number, Enoch, is 231.5 yards for passing. You going over or under?
I'm going to go under, Milt. I'm going to go under for Dustin Crum. And I think that this is a good offense for him. But him under Tommy Condell, this is not the type of quarterback that you want to have in the pocket and trying to throw it down the field. He's just averaging just over 170 yards in the last 2 starts that he's had. If you want Dustin Crum to be successful, Milt, you got to give him the ball, let him hold it, let him extend the plays, and also utilize the ground game. Daniel Adeboboye and William Stanback are going to be crucial tonight, but Dustin Crum is not going to go over 231. You look back at the game that they were successful earlier in the season against Calgary, you know how many yards he had? 111. They could still win even if he stays under, Milt.
Well, if he's going to throw for over that in any game, it's going to be against the Elks. And I say that because, yes, the Elks' defense has been playing better since they inserted Cody Fajardo, but they're still giving up almost 300 passing yards a game. They're still last in completions. They're still last in completion percentage. So this is the perfect game for him to have a great game. And because of that, he's going to go over 231.5 yards in this game, Enoch. Remember who told you that. Another episode of Head to Head.
He's the smartest running back I've ever been around. He's in the quarterback meetings. He's in the receiver meetings.
Fajardo drops back to pass. Has it over the receiver. It's Rankin. Touchdown. Edmonton.
Rankin down to the 30, down to the 20. There goes that man.
He's just such a dynamic player. He's got my vote for MOP.
Rankin runs wild on the Argos.
Is it me or Justin Rankin look like one of the best receivers in this team?
The star of the show, running back Justin Rankin.
Joined now by our Luke Wilson in Ottawa. And Luke, before I get chatting about Justin Rankin, I know that staff want to chime in first.
Hey, Luke, I just wanted to thank you for bowing out of the CFL's greatest mustache race. But other than that, I think you're still killing it out there, man.
Listen, all I got to say is for a first-timer on the panel today, the suit looks phenomenal. The hair looks great. I mean, you can do it both. On the field, you got a flown out the back. The stash looks good. You're dialed up, cleaned up right now. I couldn't be more excited for you.
You know what, Luke? If you would have had a mustache in this hit right now, we could have gone side by side and done a comparison. But maybe the next time you're here. Maybe you can grow one out the next time. Luke, let's get back to...
I'll be honest. I almost buzzed the hair. I almost buzzed the hair this week just to really go wild, you know,
really?
Britney Spears style. So I'm just glad I kept it.
You know what?
Yeah, I thought
glad
about
you
it.
kept
It was close.
Too. Now I just don't know what to expect every time you pop up on camera. So you're going to have to come back, Steph. Would you ever buzz the hair?
Oh, that'd be a tough one. I'd have to have that discussion with my wife. I don't think she'd be
She's shaking her head, absolutely not. So that's not going to be happening. All right, let's get back to football now. Why not? And Justin Rankin, he's been so incredible, but not just on the ground, in the air as well. 179 all-purpose yards in their last game, and it's something he's been doing all season long. And Luke, he just looks impossible to stop at this point.
Yeah, Kate, and what I love about Rankin is he's listed at 5'10", 215, and when you watch him run, he's a power guy. He looks like he's coming downhill like a thumper, but he's a complete back. He can do it all, and last week, I thought he put that on display. For a guy that I would look at and think, hey, he's just going to be a thumper, watch some of this stuff. If he goes for the chip here, he's obviously outlet. Look at this. You got 3 guys. I'm thinking he just tries to take one. No, he puts his foot in the ground, bursts outside, runs by a corner, and then, oh, here's your power. Here's your power. Drop the shoulder, take him for a ride, get up. We're jacked. Let's go. And now you watch him here. He presses the hole. 2 unblocked defenders. Okay, we'll bounce it outside. Again, there's that burst, that speed. He's not just a power guy, but when he needs to be, let's go for another ride here, boys. You got 11 yards after contact. Flip the ball. Get the boys fired up. And this is what I thought was great. You know, this is against a linebacker. You can't cover this man with a linebacker. You can do it all. He's got a ton of separation. It's an easy pitch and catch, and we're getting yards after contact. And then once again, you watch him press the hole here. It's a great, great job. Well blocked by the offensive line. But right here, boom, oh my. Put your foot in the ground, pressure step. We get a crazy break here. Misses the first guy. Sluka makes a great tackle late. This guy does it all, Kate. Again, you can pass the ball out of the backfield. He can run you over. He can juke you. He'll burst around you. I think right now, if you're Edmonton, especially with all the pressure that Cody's been getting week in and week out, if you can just get this guy a little more active in both the run game and the pass game, it's going to alleviate a lot of that pressure.
Well, Luke, the numbers speak for itself. Justin Rankin, 827 all-purpose yards this season. That's third most among CFL running backs. Rankin, 427 yards through the air, with 167 of those yards coming the last 2 weeks. BC's James Butler leads the way with over 1,000 all-purpose yards this season. But Rankin has just been so incredibly good. And Luke just broke it all down there, Stab. But you're a guy who knows oh too well how hard he is to stop. What makes him so dynamic?
Yeah, I think the thing with Justin Rankin is he's a dual threat type of guy, right? He's got deceptive speed. He can run away from you, has the longest rush from scrimmage in the CFL this year at 74 yards. And then he's got those compact quads where he can take it to the next level, run you over, but also make you think a little bit longer to make you miss. So I think that's the thing that a lot of these defensive backs and linebackers have to really think about when they're playing against him is he going to juke me? Is he going to run me over? And when you have to think a little bit longer in football, that changes the game for you.
And we have enough tape on him at this point. I mean, watching him, but how do you even start preparing for something like that? Or do you just try to adapt in play? Is this something that you're constantly thinking of when you're on the field?
Oh, yeah, it's a mental battle. It starts all in the mind at first when you have to make that decision that, hey, this is the guy we're going against this game. We got to tackle by population. It can't just be one guy, and we got to stop that engine before it gets started.
Look, you're having an incredible season. I think we can all admit that.
Thank you.
But we have to show this. Just how strong he is.
Yeah.
So let's flash back here and just see what Justin Rankin can do, and bam!
I had to eat that one. I had to eat that one. And that's the decisions right there, where you got to make a decision, and it's a tough one on the goal line.
Now, you know we wouldn't do you dirty like that. So here's what we did. So you know what you could have done? You could have just, crawled into a little hole and not come out. But you know what you did instead? You came out and you had that glorious pick after.
I cut it back because I was looking for Rankin on that play.
Were you? Is that what you're doing the entire time?
Get down, baby.
But you know we couldn't do you dirty and just show the one play without the other, correct?
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you guys.
All right, well, that just shows the power of Rankin. And good for you. That's just mental toughness right there, Stab. Anyways, these Ottawa fans, you know what? They've got a lot of home games coming up for their next 5. Man, they could use some wins at this point. A beautiful night in the nation's capital. Kenzie standing by right now. Javon Santos-Knox.
We'll jump on with a lot of the injuries, changes on defense, yourself moving over to weak linebacker here tonight. How does that change your role and responsibilities?
Nothing at all. Just got to do my job, execute, and fly around out there.
You guys have kind of said this week, eyes point to a guy like Justin Rankin on the other side. How will you shut him down tonight?
He's a great running back. We just got to have 12 men to the football and just be assignment sound.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
What did he do when he caught
Sticking with the defense, and you know what? I just think we're pandering to Stavros at this point. It's all the defense in this show. But Kenzie, catching up with this guy, Tyrell Ford, that's coming up right after the break.
Justin Hardy. End zone. Touchdown. Hardy again. Game-winning moment. His tip. It's caught anyway. Wow, Justin Hardy on the deflection.
Given the way your season's been, how much confidence does this give you now?
A lot of confidence. You know, we just had to get one. Man, it's routine play. Just being in the spot that I needed to be in.
Well, as mentioned off the top of the show, the Redblacks playing a lot of home games coming up. Dustin Crum saying this week, by the way, I think it's a tremendous opportunity to kind of give us a little bit of an edge in those games, not having to deal with that crowd noise and adversity that they do have in places like Winnipeg or Saskatchewan. As promised, Kenzie with Tyrell Ford.
Well, Tyrell, your group took down Toronto. You took down Montreal. What did those two wins do for your group?
I mean, obviously, you know, it helps us in the playoff race, which obviously is the goal to go on and win the whole thing. But it's good to just win consecutive games. So I think we're in a good spot, and we're just trying to build off that.
Look at the other side. Dustin Crum here tonight. Not afraid to use his legs. How will you guys shut down his rhythm?
Yeah, it's actually funny. Crum's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, actually. Yay. Me and my brother, I have like my top list of people, but obviously he brings a different dynamic than Drew Brown. He's really mobile. I mean, he's obviously still a good quarterback. He's a professional quarterback, so we got to go out there, play ball, and win.
Why is he your favorite?
Just because, like, he really be putting the team on his back. Like, he'll really run for 1,000 yards if he has to.
You don't get the Crum back name without doing stuff like that, I guess, eh?
Yep.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about a little bit of rivalries with your former team now. One of the guys that I think we can always look at when it comes to this matchup right now is the one and only Geno Lewis. I remember having the conversation before the season even began, and with everything that went down in the offseason, you can say whatever you want, but you can't tell me you don't have these games circled on your calendar. Now, I know that these teams have already met so far this season, but, Stav, you play with guys, too, that play their former teams, and maybe something happened in the offseason. And as I said, you can't tell me that they want to play a little extra harder. They really, really want this one, don't they?
Oh, yeah, the animosity for that build-up week for when you're playing your former team. I mean, my current teammate Jamal Peters, this guy is the most excited he's ever been when we go and play Toronto, especially this upcoming Labor Day game. All he's thinking is, how can I get my get back on that team? How can I make the most plays possible? Same with a guy like Deshaun Amos, who... Yep. Similarly, had a great game versus the Argos back in, week 2 or week 3, had a pick on his former team. So anytime you can have a splash game like that against your former team, it's just another level.
And, Enoch, you are the one guy on this panel who has played for... No, it's amazing to think of. I mean, obviously, Milt, I mean, he's, a living legend.
I never got cut, got traded, or they never let me go to free agency, so I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead, Enoch.
Yeah, so let's ask you. I'll get to you in a moment. But for Enoch, I mean, you played your former teams before, and how did that feel? That must have some of a different feeling going into these ones.
You always think about it before the season starts, and you are ready to go by the time it's that week in the season. And football is an emotional sport, right? And at the time of the game, when you have to play the team that you formerly played for, you always have this amped up energy and you're ready to go. And a lot of times a sign of a great team is really when the whole team rallies with that guy and starts to talk about, hey, we're going to get this team back for you. Yep. And that happens often, and I'm sure this Ottawa Redblacks team right now is saying, we're playing for you tonight, Geno.
Well, you're playing for a team who no longer wanted you, or you're playing against a team who no longer wanted you. Sure. And regardless how they didn't want you, other team offer you more money, you got trade, whatever it may be, it's personal. And I don't care how much you say it's not, it's definitely personal. And Eugene Lewis, sometimes he lets us know that it is personal. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's just being honest. So he's going to try to go out there and play his best game and make sure his team wins. But at a point, you have to realize that it is a team sport. It's not all on you. That personal feelings you have to put those to the back and let those emotions set in the back until after the game and realize that I have to do whatever it is in my power to make sure my team wins.
Well, and that's the thing tonight, too. I mean, both these teams, as I said earlier, they need this victory. And it's funny, as we get closer to Labor Day, you really start looking at these standings and thinking, okay, now we can kind of see how this is shaping up. So it appears right now that the Bombers and the Lions are those two teams that could end up on the East Division side on the playoffs this time around. We haven't had the old crossover since 2019, and it was Edmonton. And I don't know about you guys, I love when the crossover is in the mix. Look, I realize that the crossover team has never won the Grey Cup before, but it just makes an interesting playoff scenario. And it hasn't really worked out the best either. We've had some blowout games, but it does look like right now the West is trending in that direction of coming over to the East. But that's why these games mean so much tonight, Stavros.
Yeah, I mean, even you look at Ottawa's schedule. going down the stretch here. They got to play, some tough games against some tough West opponents who are in the battle for those crossover games. So you look at that and the aspect of Edmonton fighting for that same crossover spot, it just adds that animosity. BC the same when they have to come to town and play them in a few weeks here. Shoot, anytime you can talk about a crossover in your locker room and have that playoff chance, it really changes the dynamic of your season.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You guys, Hamilton Tiger Cats, have to play one of the teams that cross over. Who would you want to play?
Whoever shows up to
No,
That's
not how this works.
No, you are not allowed to say you must be honest on this panel.
Who do you want to play? Look at him. He's starting to sweat.
Does anyone have a towel out there? No, I mean, that's how it is in any football game. If you had to say, which DB do you want to play against? You're going to say, line up whoever. I'm going to beat them all.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I want to play against whoever. I'm going to say a name. Come on.
Yeah, David Sanchez, maybe?
Oh, no, that's not a challenge. You don't have to say, I know Scott Milanovich is watching. He wouldn't want you to say anything, so you don't have to answer.
Bulletin board material. But yeah, no, that crossover, this is the exciting part of the season.
You love the crossover.
I love it.
Who doesn't?
Love it. But this is the part of the season where now you got a team starting to know each other. They're starting to understand each other. But you also have to fight. And it's tough. It's tough crossing over. How many teams have gone to the Grey Cup when they crossed over?
No.
It's never happened.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
Yep.
Stav, I'll give you one more shot. You want to say a team? One more chance.
Go Ticats.
Coming up after the break, we have fired Stavros, and we've found someone else who will give an honest answer.
Who's next?
You can stay. Bo?
Gonna take it all 'cause it's game time. We will back off 'cause it's game time. Lights go down 'cause it's game time. Whole squad loud, yeah.